Hello guys, how are y'all doing? Look who I've got today. Look at my babies. This is Samuel and this is Samantha. Mama's beautiful little girl twins, girl and boy twins. Yeah, they're just adorable. And now if I can make it work. My mouth is so dry, guys. Well, how are y'all today? I hope your weekend's going well. I hope you're having a good day. All right, Samuel, sit right there. Samantha, sit right there. You're covering your brother's face, but Mama's got to have a sip of coffee. Okay, guys, if you're new to my channel, I'm Becca, and this is my happy place. This is my happy place. Here in my nursery with my babies. It's my happy place, even on days like today. I try to come on every Saturday that I possibly can. Sometimes I'm not able to. Health-wise, just not feeling up to doing a face-on video. But I try to come on every Saturday with the little series called Rocking with Becca. On this video, I try to talk about different topics that you suggest that I talk on, and I haven't received any topics in a while. Of course, I'm sure our topics has kind of played out. What I mean, you know, there's only so much to talk about. And there's been several topics that has been addressed over and over and over. And after a while, you know, you run out of topics. So, anyway, let me fix this camera, guys. Hold on. I'm going to move the camera, so hold on. I didn't like it that far away. I was going to try to give you a little bit wider view, but I don't like it that way. So here we are with Samuel and Samantha, and they're adorable. And later on today, we're going to get them changed. They are in their original Paradise Galleries outfits, but we're going to change them a little bit later on in a different video. But I just wanted to bring them on and let you see these beautiful babies. And I may try to set Samantha up here on this table, because I'm not good at holding two of them and doing the video, because I do need to drink my coffee. Excuse my yawning, guys. I don't feel good today. I feel like I have, I hope I don't. Samuel, you sit right here on the floor and let me get Samantha fixed over here. I don't want to knock my coffee over, and I'm afraid I'm going to. Let's set it on the floor. This is what Rocking with Becca is all about, guys. You see the real thing going on. It's not it's not edited. It's not trying to be so precise. You gonna hold Mama's water for her? But where am I gonna put my coffee? There we go. Maybe I can put it, can you move your foot over a little bit? That ain't gonna work, baby girl. And I'm gonna be spilled that on me. All right, let's do this. And put the water down here. Now don't you fall and spill my coffee. Okay, let's see if we can get settled here. Maybe Samantha will be okay sitting there. I may have to go put her in the baby bed. Get down, Macy. Get down. Get down. Get down. So, what was I saying? Oh, I do this series called Rocking with Becca. I try to do it every Saturday that I possibly can. And I usually have a topic or a discussion or something like that I want to talk about and, discuss. Even if it's nothing but my health. And I'm thinking that maybe today might be one of those days that it's just talking about my health. I don't mean to bore y'all. I know I say this often, and I get a lot of comments that you love watching my videos, that you love my content. But I can't help but feel like sometimes that it's just a repeat over and over and over, the things that I talk about and come on and do, and me changing the babies and things like that. I feel like it's just, I can't think of the right word to put there. Repetitive, is that it? Where you're just doing the same thing over and over. But, there's only so much you can discuss and talk about without doing it over and over. But I try to also, on these videos, I try to do a shout out. And I haven't had a shout out in a while. And I think I'm going to start just going down my subscriber list and shout out all of my subscribers. Just go down the list and shout out one or two of a Saturday that I'm able to do a video. And just give everybody a little bit of love. Instead of trying to pick out ones that I watch the most or whatever, I just want to give everybody that I'm subscribed to a shout out. And it will take a while to get down the list because I'm subscribed to a lot of people. But I thought I would do that. The ones that has, that does videos, I will give them a shout out. So today I messed around and turned on the camera before I went and looked. But today's shout out is going to be, I believe, if I am not mistaken, like I said, or started to say, I meant to go look it up on the computer and find exactly what her channel name is. But I'm going to say it the best I can remember. I think it's Belinda's Babies. Now, I will look it up when I'm uploading this video, and I will put her link in the title of this video because she's the shout out for today. And I enjoy her videos. I don't watch every one of them because, like I said, I have so many people I'm subscribed to. I try to go around and, get to all of them occasionally. And so I just have, I do have a few, just a handful that I watch faithfully every day. And, but the others, it's not that I don't enjoy your channel, I do. And I kind of rotate the ones that I watch, I say faithfully every day. There's a few that I have the notification bell clicked on so I don't miss any of their videos. And I'll watch them every day for a while, and then I might unclick the bell and click somebody else, and watch them every day faithfully for a while. I try my best to get around to everybody, and I know I'm right here at home. I don't leave the house unless necessary, and you would think I would have time to just watch everybody, but I still have housework. I have health issues. I have a hubby that I have to, spend some time with when he's around. When he's around. And then I have my craft hobbies that I like to spend a little bit of time doing, which I usually have videos going while I'm doing crafting. And then I have craft videos I like to watch, and I have vloggers I like to watch. So it's just hard to get around to everybody every day. So I try to spread it out, and I try to pick a few that I watch every day for a little while, and then I pick another few, and I try my best to get around to everybody. So saying all that, I don't watch Belinda's videos every day. But what I do is when I have a video that has a lot of comments on it, ever so often, I will, everyone that has commented on that video, I will go and watch their newest video and comment, and and let them know I'm there supporting them as best I can. And so that's why sometimes you will see, if I'm subscribed to you, you will see comments sometimes, and sometimes you won't. I'm just trying to get around to everybody. So, but all that being said, I think I'm just going to go down the line, and as I give you a shout out, write it down so I don't repeat you until I get everybody else shouted out. And that way, and the days that I shout you out, I'm going to try to go watch your latest video, if you do videos. And that way, we can get around eventually to everybody. Guys, excuse my yawning. Y'all know how I am about yawning. But today, like I said, I'm probably going to be talking health-wise today. Today's a dreary day. That don't make it, the earth and the creation God made, don't make it any less beautiful. It's just a cloudy, dreary day where you just feel lazy if you're a healthy person. If you're not healthy, you feel blah. You just feel blah. Cloudy weather, rainy weather, the change of the, how do you say it, barometric, whatever that is, level. That can affect you when you have certain illnesses. Just the change in weather and stuff can really affect a person that has arthritis, fibromyalgia, lupus, any of these other chronic pain. I mean, there's just disease after disease, hidden, what they call hidden diseases. And what they mean by hidden is you can't look at a person like if a person had the flu, you could look at them and you could see the physical effect, like they're running a fever, they're throwing up, they've got chills, whatever the symptoms are. They got a sore throat, runny nose, all these things you can see. But a hidden disease is something that you can look at me today and it looks like there's nothing wrong with me. I mean, I may look like I feel bad, but Um, I have no outward symptoms like blowing my nose, sore throat, fever, throwing up. I have none of these physical symptoms, so therefore it's called a hidden disease. And looking at me, you may not know there's anything wrong with me, but on the inside and in my body, I'm suffering. Now, a person that lives in pain, they learn to cope to a certain extent. Or chronic fatigue, or, you learn to cope to a certain extent, but then, it reaches a point that you can't deal with it well without some kind of outward appearance of talking about it, not being able to do anything, or whatever the situation. And so today I'm just feeling probably the weather, and it probably has a lot to do with I didn't sleep well. Well, let me put it this way. Usually then once I go to sleep, I sleep. My problem is getting to sleep. And even though I took my medicine last night when I went to bed, for some reason, I just couldn't hardly. It was probably 2 o'clock before I went off to sleep. And, hubby goes to bed. We went to bed before 12 o'clock last night, which is our normal time to go to bed is around 11:30. And so I was in the bed before 12. I got settled for the night. Had taken my medicine. Put my sleep apnea mask on, machine going. Got in the bed like I always do. Listened to my Bible out, reading my chapters to me. Then I scroll. I usually, if I'm not ready to go to sleep by the time I get through reading my Bible, or listening to it being read to me, then I'll scroll through Facebook and watch reels on Facebook until I get sleepy. And I usually think, I'm just a little bit after reading my Bible, just a little bit, I will be ready to go to sleep. And most of the time fall off to sleep and wake up a while later with my phone laying there on the bed beside me where I fell asleep holding it. And then at that point I will put my phone up and take my glasses off and turn over and then go right off to sleep for the rest of the night. But last night I tossed and turned and watched reel after reel after reel, and tossed and turned and had to get up. I hate it when I have to get up after getting settled because I have my sleep apnea machine on. Had to get up and go to the restroom. So when I got back from going to the restroom, that's when I looked at the clock, and it was 1:30 something. It might have been even like 1:40. And I finally turned over. After getting back in the bed, I got settled, got my machine hooked back up, got settled and turned over, and I finally went off to sleep. But then I wouldn't stay awake, but I woke up a couple of times, even after falling to sleep that late at night or early morning. I would wake up. I didn't stay awake, but I'd wake up, move over, turn over, and to me, when I wake up like that during the night, 2 or 3 times during the night, I'm not resting. And it affects me the next day. The next day I'm usually just draggy and feeling bad and not really feeling like doing anything. But I talked some, I think it was last week, that I talked about choosing, that to be happy and content and joyful is a choice. That don't mean, even when we choose to be happy, when we choose joy and contentment, that don't mean we don't have bad days. That don't mean we're perfect and that there's not down times, that we're not feeling up to par mentally, and not joyful, bubbly, and, I'm not feeling all that today. I do choose joy, and I am joyful, even though I'm not feeling well, physically and mentally. But I have a little problem sometimes, something that really bothers me sometimes. And it was really bothering me this morning. But hubby and I, we are like night and day. We are so totally different in every aspect of our life. I don't know how in the world we stayed together all these years. To be honest, I don't know how we managed it, except for that it was just the hand of the Lord. I love him dearly, and I know he loves me dearly. And he does things for me that I feel like, I'm sure there probably are other men out there that does things like this. I feel like he's the only man in the world that does the things for me that, that a man will do for his wife. And that's just me, I'm sure there are more men out there. My husband does the cooking. He goes out and does all the business, like getting groceries or anything. I do the paying the bills online, but anything that has to be done physically outside of the house. We live in a small town, and we don't have grocery delivery that will bring it to your door. So if we did, I would do it that way so he wouldn't have to go get the groceries. But I choose to stay in the house. This is my happy place. And even though I do choose this way, and this is the way I like it, there are some days I just don't feel good, and things kind of rub me the wrong way. But back to what I was saying about this morning. I like to get up and get me a cup of coffee, sit in my recliner, drink my coffee, let the coffee have time to stimulate me, because that's what it does. Caffeine stimulates you. Kind of helps me to get awake, and I like to start my day slow. I don't like to jump up and get dressed and hit the floor running. But my husband does. It probably has a lot to do with the fact that he's a man, and he's had to do it that way, all his life. He's had to get up early, jump in his clothes, and take off to work, But me, I like to sit here and drink my coffee and just take my time getting good awake. And on the days that he's home, I like for him to sit down with me in the morning time when we first get up and drink coffee and us talk a little bit. You know, because once he gets started with his day, there's no him coming in and sitting down. I mean, he's in and out, and he talks to me when we stop for lunch, and, you know, when he comes in, he'll tell me what's going on, what he's been doing, what's been happening, but he don't just sit down and give me his undivided attention. He just talks to me in passing, you know, or in stopping for lunch or whatever. And so I cherish the morning times when he's home for us to just sit and talk a little bit. And, you know, it doesn't have to be, we don't have to sit there for hours. Just 30 minutes. Sit there and drink your coffee and let's chat a little bit and talk about our day and what we have planned and what our goal is for the day, and, you know, just have a little bit of one-on-one time. Quality time, I guess you could call it. But this morning, you know, with me not sleeping well last night, I wasn't ready to get out of the bed. He had the clock set for 7. He likes to get up early. He could sleep later as far as sleeping. You know, if he didn't set the clock, he would sleep through and sleep later. But when he does that, he says it makes him feel bad the rest of the day and dragged out and don't feel like doing nothing. So he feels better when he gets up earlier. So he had the clock set for 7, and he got up. Well, I wasn't quite ready to get up because of my rough night and everything. I just wasn't quite ready to get up. So I stayed in the bed till almost 8 o'clock until Macy would no longer let me lay there. She was up on top of me. She was licking my face, licking my hands. When that dog gets up, she's like Daddy. She wants everybody else up out of the bed and she's ready to go. Not me. So I finally got up just a little bit, maybe like 10 minutes to 8. I got up. Got my coffee. Well, hubby never did sit down in there with me this morning because he was getting dressed when, you know, he'd done been up about 45 minutes and had a cup of coffee. So he was getting dressed ready for his day. And he never did sit down with me. He finished getting dressed. He made me a cup of coffee, took it to my chair while I was getting out of bed and, you know, doing all your things you have to do when you get out of bed. Going to the restroom and all this kind of stuff. And so he had my coffee made for me by the time I got in there to my chair, and he was ready to go. He asked me, did I want a bacon biscuit, that he was going to run to the store because I needed some laundry detergent to do laundry today. And by the time I got in there and got settled in my chair, he come in there and said, I'm going to go to the grocery store and pick up these items we need, and I'll be right back. He said, do you want a bacon biscuit? I said, yeah. So he left. He went to the grocery store, and then he picked up a bacon biscuit. Me a bacon biscuit. I thought he was getting both of us one, and we was going to sit and eat our biscuit together. So he comes back in just a few minutes and brings in the groceries and brought me a bag from Ward's and put it in my lap. And when he asked me did I want a bacon biscuit, we have a little donut shop here in town that's supposed to be open on Saturdays, but they wasn't today. But they also sell bacon, cheese, bacon, and egg croissants. And so a lot of times that's what I'll get. And so when he asked me, did I want a bacon biscuit, I told him, yeah, I wanted, a, and I also wanted a chocolate covered donut or chocolate filled donut to go with it. He said, so you want a croissant? I said, yeah. But he went by there and it wasn't open, so he went towards and got me a bacon biscuit. But, you know, I'm thinking he's going to get us both one, and we're going to sit down and, you know, eat our biscuit together and talk, you know, a little bit. He come in, brought the bag and put it in my lap and told me that, you know, the donut shop wasn't open, and that was me a bacon biscuit, and that he was going to get around to go to the farmer's market. He never did sit down. So I asked him, I said, did you eat while you was out? Before you got home? Did you eat your biscuit before you got home? He said, no, I didn't get me one. I ate a pack of those cheese crackers with my coffee earlier. He said, I didn't want anything. Okay. So there went us sitting down eating together. And it bothered me. And, you know, he went outside and unloaded his trailer from where he had went to the church and worked yesterday. He unloaded his tools and scaffold and everything off of his trailer outside. And I guess he took a cage in case he found something, you know, an animal at the farmer's market that he wanted to get. I don't know. But, because he went in his truck. He didn't go in the car. So apparently he went in the truck in case he found something he wanted to buy. But, you know, here I am sitting there eating my biscuit right by myself. And he's out there getting things ready, and he comes in, tells me he's going to run to the farmer's market. He'll be back after a while. If I need anything, you know, while he's out, let him know. And it really bothered me this morning. It don't bother me every time. I guess it's because of the way I'm feeling. But it bothered me this morning. And, you know, because I know once he gets busy with his day, that's it until it starts getting dark. And he gets ready to shut down for the night. That's it. He's in and out all day long, and I, you know, don't have any quality time with him. And I cherish those times in the morning. And you might say, well, tell him how you feel. I've told him over and over and over. And he'll do good for a little while. And it's not that he's being a mean person or that he don't want to be with me. It's just his makeup. It's just the way he is. And he will, you know, sometimes forget that he needs to take a few minutes with me in the morning times on the days he's not having to go to work on his, you know, his public job. And it's really bothered me today. But like I said, it's because I'm not feeling well. I didn't get a lot of rest last night. I just feel kind of I can't really say my head is hurting per se, but yet it's hurting. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like a dull, not really an ache, just I can feel it. You know what I mean? I can feel my head there. Usually think your whole body is just part of you, you know. You don't feel one member above the other, you know, it's just your body. But today it's like you know, my head is just hurting just enough that it stands out above the rest of my body. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it. But just a little bit of an insight on how hubby and I are totally different. all our life, all our married life, we have been like this. We have been totally and completely different. And like I said, I really don't know how we've made it with our differences, but we have. But see, my husband is a country guy. He was born and raised country. I'm not talking about cowboy type country necessarily. I'm talking about survival country. Our generation, my husband went through things that was more like what my mom went through and how my mom was raised. And you know, back when they didn't have running water and electricity and air conditioners, and you know, back when my mom was a kid, a lot of my husband's life as a child was raised like he was from that era, because they were very poor people. My father-in-law had been in the military. He had gotten hurt, his back, and he couldn't hold a public job. So they had to just try to live off the little bit of pension he got. And to make ends meet, the family had to hunt for food. They had to have meat. They fished and sold the fish to help ends meet. They raised their own vegetables, and they had chickens for eggs and sometimes to cook. You know, and the first part of his life, my husband's life, they had no electricity, no running water. He's told about many times that they would have to carry buckets down to the creek to get water, to have water. They didn't have an inside bathroom for a good little while. You know, he tells about the way he was raised, more like he was from the era of that my mother was raised in as a kid, where, you know, when they lived out in the country, you know, naturally, to have a garden and all that, they lived on a 10-acre spot of land that their house was on, that they built themselves. Now, I'm not talking about nowadays type building a house. They just poured a concrete slab. My father-in-law and the kids poured a big old thick concrete slab. They didn't call in a concrete truck to bring the concrete. It was, you know, they did it themselves. And they took just the cement blocks and cemented them up a wall. So the house was not, what do you call it? It wasn't in line. It wasn't plumb, or however you want to say it. And they had no insulation. It was just the cement blocks. The outside wall was the inside wall. They had no carpet on the floors. They would have occasionally a throw rug, you know, like an aerial rug or something, but it had no linoleum. It was just a cement floor. No insulation, no wood walls. It was just cement blocks, inside and out. And that's the way my husband lived. Of course, you know, before he became a teenager, they did get a bathroom with a tub and a commode in it. But in his younger days, they had to go draw water from the creek, fill up a big barrel outside. Now, see, this is my husband that's only 3 years older than me, or really 2.5. And he's telling me this, and this sounds more like when my mother was growing up. But they took a bath outside in a barrel, all used the same water. You know, he tells about these things, how he was raised. And until he was 17 years old and left home, he lived in this cement block house with his mom and dad with no air conditioning, no phone. They did have electricity and running water finally, and, you know, things like that. But whenever he took me to meet his family, I couldn't believe it. It was just, we drove up, and I walked in the house, and I couldn't believe that they lived like that. It was like stepping back in time. And it was a shock to me. I was raised in a city, wasn't a big city at the back. When I think about back 60 years ago, I was 2 years old when we moved to Louisiana, to Kenner, Louisiana. I was 2 years old. So I don't remember anything before Louisiana. And we lived in Kenner. Well, back then, I mean, it was a big city, but not like it is today, you know. But I was raised a city girl. You ask me where milk comes from, it comes from the grocery store. Where does meat come from? The grocery store. Where does eggs come from? The grocery store. You know, we ate out of the freezer department at the grocery store, the canned goods, the box goods, you know. We didn't go to no garden and have fresh vegetables to cook. I had no clue how to make, you know, how to cook fresh vegetables, because they take longer to cook than just opening the can and heating it up and adding seasoning to them, and, you know. I was raised a city girl. Anything we wanted or needed, we went to the store and got it. We didn't have to go out to the garden and hoe a garden and till and pick vegetables and clean them and cook them or freeze them or whatever you do with them. I've learned a lot since I was married, since, you know, in my marriage with my husband, but I'm still a city girl at heart. And I always, as far as I can remember, we always had an air conditioner. We slept comfortable temperature because we had an air conditioner and a heater. In the wintertime, hubby and them had just a fireplace in the living room. When you went to bed, you took a glass of water and put it on your dresser, so you could have something to, you know, if you wake up during the night and need a sip of water, well, you got in the bed, and as many children as was in that family, you didn't have a lot of spare blankets, and so they would get their clean laundry and pile it up on top of the blankets on the bed, and, you know, try to keep warm because there was no heat in the bedrooms. You raise up and need a sip of water, and your water's iced over because it was so cold in the wintertime. You know, these things, as was so foreign, and is even yet foreign to me. It sounds more like when my mother was raised. Well, then it carries on to, like I said, he's always been the type, because he's had to get up and go to work, that, and before he was old enough to go to a public job, he still had to get up at before daylight to get ready to go, you know, till the garden or whatever. His daddy was always up at the crack of dawn and had everybody in the house up. And they had to hit the floor running. And he's done that all of his life. So, and he likes outside. He likes... It's just hard to explain, guys, the difference. Me, I want to be inside. If I do something, I want, back when I was out doing things, I wanted to go shopping. I didn't want to go out camping and fishing and doing things outside where you get hot and sweaty and there's bugs and you have to worry about snakes and, I wanted to be comfortable. If I did anything, let's go to the store and shop. Let's go walk around the mall. That definitely wasn't my husband's cup of tea. Although he did do it, can't say quite a few times, but through the years, he did it a few times with me to spend time with me and to do something I wanted to do. And I have went camping a few times and fishing in my younger days and things like that, to do something with him. But it was a chore to do because it wasn't what I liked. And I'm sure it was a chore to him to have to go shopping with me, because that's not what he likes. And it seems like even like the food that we ate, our likes and dislikes was so different in our food. Everything about us is like night, and it still is like night and day. So, I try, and today I am choosing, even though I'm talking about these things, I'm still choosing joy. I may not feel my greatest today. My husband jumping up and leaving this morning may be bothering me a little bit. But even though I'm feeling a little down, I'm choosing joy. And another day will be, tomorrow will probably be better, hopefully. Sundays is usually rough for me. But I'm choosing joy. I almost didn't do Rocking with Becca because of the way I'm feeling. And I said, I'm not going to let this get me down. I am not going to let it get me where I'm just in the mully grubs today and don't enjoy my day. I'm choosing to be joyful. And so to start out, I'm going to go do my Rocking with Becca video. And even if I talk about this situation, I'm going to do this video. I'm doing it for me, to help pull myself out of this slump. And, because in the back of my mind, I realize hubby's not doing this to be mean. He's not doing this to neglect me. He's had this on his mind. He got it in his mind yesterday. He'd made up his mind that what he was going to do today was use today as a rest day. He'd worked hard at the church yesterday, and he was hurting so bad and so tired yesterday afternoon, early evening when he got home and settled down for the night. And he said today, because tomorrow's Sunday, he's got to preach, in the morning, church in the morning and all. So he said today he wasn't going to do any kind of physical work today. It looks like it's going to rain anyway, and he was painting outside the church. So he said he was just going to use today to just do things that wasn't physically taxing on him. So, when he gets something in his mind that, that he gets his plans for the day and all, that's what he thinks on. And so when he gets up, that's in his mind, he wants to go to the farmer's market, and so it's not that he's trying to neglect me or don't want to be with me, and I know that don't keep it from bothering me, but it helps me to deal with it. It's just that's what was on his mind. So he just thinks about getting up, getting dressed, doing things he has to do before he leaves, and hitting out for the farmer's market. And it never, it didn't cross his mind that I might need him to sit down, because that's so bearing on his mind. That's the way, that's his makeup. That's the way he is. That once he gets that in his mind, that's what he thinks about until he can do it. And, he just didn't think, because that was on his mind this morning. Now, I probably will mention it to him again casually. I'm not going to blow him out, fuss him out. I probably will mention it to him that, it left me feeling empty and void, is what it does when he jumps up like that on days that he's not going to his job. It kind of leaves me feeling empty and void when he don't take the time to sit in there about at least 30 minutes and chat with me before he goes about his day. And I will mention it to him again. That will help to remind him. And, I don't hold it against him for doing it this morning like that. I'm just a different person. My likes and dislikes and my ways of doing things is different than his. And I'm not going to fuss him out because he's who he is. I will kindly remind him. So maybe next week when he's off from work, next week, he works 3 days a week on his public job. So starting next Thursday, maybe that will be on his mind, and he will take a few minutes each morning to spend a little chat time with me before he goes about his day. And, he needs a little reminder every now and then, just like I need a reminder of things that he needs and likes for me to do. Sometimes I get caught up in my illness, my aches, my pains, my, fatigue and all this, and forget the things that he likes and wants me to do. So you just have to work together, and you have to choose joy. You have to choose joy. And so I have chosen joy today. I've decided to come on and do my Rockin' with Becca, and I'm not going to sit here in the mully grubs worrying about it, fretting over it. I'm going to go about my day. Although I'm not feeling very well today, I'm still going to try to do as much as I can. And if I can't do anything but lay back in my recliner and watch videos, I'm going to be thankful. I'm going to be thankful that I have y'all to, have y'all's videos to watch. Have y'all to keep me company. And I'm going to be thankful for those little things. Those little things that means the world to me. And I'm choosing joy today. So this video really has been for me today. Y'all just here listening. You're just here listening. This video's been for me. I'm talking to me. I'm trying to boost my spirit. I'm trying to find my joy in the moment and be happy. And, you know, I was discuss with hubby a little later and remind him about, you know, I need at least 30 minutes of his time before he hits the road going. And, you know, just reminding, he does good most of the time. He does good most of the time. It's very few times that he jumps up and does it after I have, because I've told him over and over how I feel and what I feel like I need, and how it makes me feel empty and void when he jumps up and leaves like that. And that I have to really fight the feeling that he don't want to be with me when he jumps up and does that. And he assures me over and over again that that is not the case. That he just had it on his mind what he wanted to do, and that's what he got up and did. And I know that. I know in the back of my mind, I know that. It's just days like that I'm feeling like I'm feeling today. That I haven't rested well. I'm not feeling good. Kind of foggy. My mind's kind of foggy. You know, days like that is when it really bothers me. But like I said, he don't do it often anymore. Since I've told him how I felt. It's just on occasion. He'll get something on his mind so strong that that's just what he gets up and does. He don't think to stop and, you know, spend a little time chatting. So, I don't hold it against him. I'm not feeling hard at him. I'm just trying to cope with my feelings. And, choose my joy today. I am choosing joy today. So I do feel a lot better. I'm not feeling just up to par and perky, but I do feel a lot better about it since I've sit here and talked. Like I said, I'm doing this video for me. You're just sitting on the sidelines listening. Just sitting on the sidelines listening. Guys, have I ever told you the story, true story, the incident, let me put it that way. Have I ever told you the incident about when I was 5 months pregnant with my baby boy, and us going, hubby and I going fishing, hubby and I and our oldest son at the time, our only son at the time, except for the one I was pregnant with, had went fishing and getting stuck. Do y'all recall me telling about that incident? About us getting stuck and having to walk home? If you don't recall that, me telling that story, and you would like to hear it, leave it in the comments that you would like to hear that story. And one Saturday, I will tell you about it. It was one of those times I chose to do something hubby wanted to do. And me not being a country girl or a outside type person. So if you don't recall that incident, me telling that incident, and you'd like to hear it, leave it in the comments that you'd like to hear that. Put it in the comments you'd like to hear the fishing story. And I'll know what you're talking about. So I'm trying to remember things that we did, you know, through our younger marriage, younger life, and things that went on, and so I can have something to talk about on Saturdays, because these videos, the Rockin' with Becca videos, are therapy for me. Well, all my videos are, but I really enjoy the Rockin' with Becca, to be able to just sit here and relax, hold a baby and rock and talk with you. I really enjoy these videos on Saturdays are very therapeutic for me. And so I try to think up things that I might not have told you before, or it might have been so long that no one remembers it and would like to hear it again, or whatever. Um, so I'll have something to talk about. If you have any kind of question you want to ask me, feel free to leave it in the comments below, and I will answer it on the Rocking with Becca. If you have any kind of topic of discussion that you would like for me to address, even if I don't know anything about it, I'll try to find as much as I can on it and tell you what I have found, and that I didn't know anything until I looked it up. You know, anything, any kind of dolly related topic that you'd like me to talk about, leave it in the comments, and I'll write it down, and we'll talk about it, you know, on a Rocking with Becca. So anyway, I have no clue. I can't see the camera, the time. Have we been on here an hour? I think that says an hour, guys. I had no idea I talked that long. I thought it would be about 45 minutes. It is. It's over an hour. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. If you made it this far, put a red rose in the comment emoji if you made it this far, so I can know how many actually made it to the end of this video. Just for my pleasure of knowing. If you don't mind doing that, I'd appreciate it, that you would put a red rose emoji in the comments. I'm so sorry. I had no clue I had talked this long. I'm going to let you go. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'll try to get on with another video changing these babies. And anyway, I'm going to let you go for now. Have a great weekend, guys. Have a great rest of your day. I hope you all are feeling well. And I will talk with you later. Bye.